back to Cult Movie Club. The day has finally come. The Van Damme movies have finally arrived. From 88 films, we have Street Fighter and Replicant special editions. These are very limited to 3,000 copies each. So if you're even thinking about getting one of these, you need to do it pronto. So I'm going to have a look at these today. I'm going to talk about them a little bit. We'll start with Street Fighter. So there's a really nice metallic glossy slipcase there. Looks really nice. You got a number there. I got number 176 out of 3,000, so that's quite a low number. I was quite happy about that. So we'll pop it out slipcase, have a look. So again, same artwork. And then inside we've got some art cards. Now I'll look at these. Get the slip off. So just basically movie prints. So there's Kylie and Chun-Li there. And then we've got Van Damme hanging on to Bison's flying thing, whatever it is. And then picture still of Van Damme's Count Guile. And then Van Damme and Kylie. So that's pretty cool. And then we've got a poster. Not like huge, but there we go, it's pretty cool. So we've got all that. Obviously then you've got the disc, and then there's no reverse artwork, it's like just a still from the movie. So that's everything in that. Special features on this, there's like a bit of a documentary, which is Steven D'Souza talking about the film. It's more like a commentary, going over stills, going over scenes from the movie. That's pretty good, that's pretty insightful. And then there's a couple of bits where there's these guys talking about the different Street Fighter games and how they evolved. And then you've got an interview with one of the actors in there, and there's an interview with the composer Graham Revell, which is quite good, worth a watch. There's a commentary on here as well with director Steven D'Souza, which I haven't had a look at yet, but I'm sure it's pretty interesting. So there we go. In my relationship with this film, I saw this. This was like peak Van Damme. This was 1994, so we'd just had Hard Target. We'd had Time Cop. He was at the peak of his absolute powers here. And then this came out. This was quite highly anticipated. And it was also the first film that I actually managed to get to see at the cinema with Van Damme in, because all his films then were like 18s and stuff, so I couldn't get in. This was the first one that was rated 12, which I could see. So it was more of an experience watching the movie, because I was really excited about watching my first Van Damme film in the cinema. So I enjoyed it anyway, but you know, it wasn't. It didn't have the same impact that some of the other films did, you know, back then for me. And it was kind of the start of me losing a slight bit of interest around that time, and didn't regain it till a few years later, when he started bringing out like Replicant and stuff, which I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, I watched it about 10 years ago and really enjoyed it, and I've obviously watched this as soon as I got it. It's a really good transfer of the film. It's never looked better. It's probably not going to look any better than this. But yeah, it's definitely flawed. One thing I did notice was that Van Damme seemed like he was hardly in it. I think if you put all these scenes together, it probably only amounts to about half an hour of the film. But you know, when he is in it, it's pretty good. We need to talk about Raul Julia, as this was unfortunately his last film. Great actor. Pretty sad that he died straight after this. He really played it up, really hammed it up in this film. It's really entertaining. So that, you know, he elevates the film from what could have been an absolute trash to fair, you know, half decent. So yeah, I mean, if you there's loads of trivia on this film about, you know, how they had to like relocate due to finding out about Raul Julia's like cancer diagnosis. The fact that Van Damme and Raul Julia swallowed up most of the budget, so then they didn't have much money then for sets and actors and stuff like that. You know, actors having to film fight scenes hours before they're actually going to shoot it when you normally have weeks, you know, stuff like that. And you can it kind of shows a bit in the film with the editing that, you know, these guys, they're not fighters, it's just very clever editing. But yeah, it's a piece of history. If you're a Van Damme fan, then you know you're gonna get this. So let's move on to Replicant. So let's have a look at that. So again, metallic slip case, really nice. This one has a higher number, 1,570 out of 3,000 is what I had here. So let's get this open. So we did have reverse artwork on this. I've already reversed it, so that's the reverse artwork, which is really good. You get the same back cover, but it's a different front cover. The alternative one is basically just the normal front cover that's on the slipcase. That's the alternative. This one comes with a booklet, so different from Street Fighter. There's no art cards here, we get a booklet instead, which is really insightful. So we've got an interview with the screenwriter, which is really worth reading, and then we've got an interview with the camera operator and his relationship with Ringo Lam, who directed this film. So that's really good. And then we get a poster like in Street Fighter, which is basically the artwork, which is on the front. There we go. Again, pretty cool. So this came out in 2001. It didn't actually come out in the UK until 2002. And it went straight to video, which was not really a surprise because we'd already had a few Van Damme films straight to video at that point, like Desert Eat and you know, Legionnaire and stuff like that. But it was an absolute shame, especially after seeing the film, because it was definitely cinema worthy. It's a great performance from Van Damme. This is very similar to a Schwarzenegger movie that came out only a year before called The Sixth Day. Very similar ideas to do with cloning and stuff like that. This is by far the better film, and that got a cinema release and this didn't, which is a shame. It's got a budget like it should have as well. It got made for a theatrical release, but I'm guessing just bailed at the last minute. So I saw it in 2002 when it came out on video, rented it straight away, and absolutely loved it. Thought it was brilliant. And then it had like a DVD release, so I picked up the DVD, and then it's been pretty much extinct. Obviously this is a Blu-ray premiere, so it's really cool. It's really, really worth seeing if you're a Van Damme fan. It's also got Michael Rooker in it, which is he's a great actor. He's well known for Guardians of the Galaxy now, but obviously he was Henry in Henry the Portrait of a Serial Killer. He was also in Sliver, very underrated actor. He's really good in this. Van Damme's really good in this as well. He plays a dual role, which is not new. But in this, he plays a bad guy and a good guy. You know, the clone of the bad guy, which is really worth watching. I really enjoy this film. I really loved it back in the day. I did rewatch it on this release, and I probably didn't enjoy it as much. It has aged a little bit, but it's still really good. Definitely worth watching. Not really going to go into the plot. If you want to check it out, then have a look at that. There is a special feature on here. There's not as many special features as Street Fighter, but there is Transfix Through Light, which is a conversation with a cinematographer, which is nearly 80 minutes long. And he talks basically through his career, talks about his career as a cinematographer. And he doesn't actually speak about Replicant until probably about 50 minutes in, but it is quite, it's quite interesting seeing that profession and him talking about it. And he does talk about Replicant as well, so there's some pretty insightful stuff what he talks about there. It was filmed during COVID, so the quality of it's not great because obviously it was done through video feed or something like that. But again, yeah, brilliant releases, 88 films. Great label. There's more of this stuff to come. We've got more Van Damme releases. So Knockoff was supposed to come as this was supposed to be on this set, but that has unfortunately been delayed. So I'll get that hopefully in the next few weeks. And then there's Legionnaire coming and Universal Soldier: The Return, which I've talked about previously in an old video. Which check that out. I was a little harsh on it, but yeah. I've already got a Sony release of that. I'm not going to bother upgrading that, to be honest, but definitely interested in Legionnaire. Knockoff I've got on the way, and I look forward to seeing what the other 3 releases are in this collection. If, like I said before, if you're thinking about it, or if you're a Van Damme fan and haven't already, definitely get onto this. There's only 3,000. They've stressed that they're not printing anymore. I'm just guessing it's a licensing thing. When they're gone, and then they're going to be big money on eBay and stuff like that. So, you know, you need to, if you've watched this video and you're thinking, yeah, definitely, you need to do it now. Thank you very much for watching again. And I'll see you again very soon.